Nintendo nerds, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying your week so far. When you guys watch this video, it is going to be either Friday or Saturday for you guys. For me, I'm filming this on Thursday of this week. I just made it past hump day Wednesday, so I'm very blessed that the week is going by pretty quickly. But I am not looking forward to this Saturday because I will be going to the dental office for my dental appointment. I do have an appointment this Saturday to get my teeth checked. I have tons of cavities, least exciting part of my week. And typically our new schedule or new work week starts on Sunday. So I had last Sunday off and I have this Saturday off. So this Saturday is technically my only day off since last Sunday. It's been about a week since I've really had a day off. And it kind of sucks that I have to go to the dentist and I have to get my teeth probed, but you know, adulting, it is what it is. Gotta get your teeth checked, gotta be healthy, gotta live life. Back to school is also right around the corner for many of you guys. I know for college students, you typically start towards the end of August, as I remember so fondly myself, and the rest of you guys who are in elementary, middle, and high school, you guys start in September, way after Labor Day. I only know a number of colleges that start in September, but almost very rare. Most of everybody starts towards the end of August. I know back to school is the least exciting time. For those of you who have to go get textbooks, I know it's not very exciting and nothing to be happy over. And for me, it was just having to know that I have to get back into the whole routine of going back to school. I used to dread looking at my schedule. Yes, I made my own schedule when I was in college and I had power over what classes I wanted to take and when I wanted to take them and what day I wanted to have classes on, you know, depending on the availability for those classes. And even then, I tried to avoid looking at my schedule in August. I would wait till as late as I can to look at my schedule and then get my textbooks. And as the years went by, I started getting my textbooks a lot later, like when class started. My first couple years I was on top of it. I would get it way before class started, but then I just stopped caring and got them as school started and as my classes were beginning. Over the years, I have seen a number of YouTubers try to do a back to school video, which typically included them doing a back to school hack video. And the reason why I'm sitting here and giving this look is because many of them were well over the age and have been out of school for many years. Now, I'm not sitting here and saying they are not qualified to make a back to school video, but I'm just not sure how relevant their information is. I am more qualified to make a back to school video in my opinion because I graduated last May of 2018. I was in school all of last year. I had to do all the assignments just like everybody else, studying, projects, homework. I did all of it, and it was a long 5 years for me, but I pulled through, I persevered, and I got my degree. And as much as I dislike school, I went through it. And yes, for all of you kids out there who dislike school, stay in school. It's such an important thing to have education under your belt. Trust me, it's good to follow your dreams too and do what you want to do in life because you'll never be happy if you pick a job you don't want to work and go into for 8 hours a day and if you're not truly happy. You should always do something that you really like, but if it's not going to give you a stable salary and help you live a comfortable life, I would definitely do this as a side job and always have a backup plan. Always have your education to fall back on, which is always really important. But of course, happiness is always first. And then everything else comes after that. So school is really important. Stay in school, guys. I persevered through it, and if I did it, you can too. And I was always an average C, B student, sometimes A. So I totally understand all of you guys out there who are struggling, but trust me, it's well worth it in the end. Now, let's warp into today's video. Guys, for today's video, I thought we would do a fun story time in honor of back to school for all of you. Instead of doing a back to school hack video that is mundane in my opinion and boring because everybody can do a back to school hack video and everybody has been doing it and it's basically the same old recycled hacks used over and over again and I'm sure you guys have heard of them, multiple times, a billion times, and the last thing you want to see me do is talk about back to school hacks, how to study better, how to get your homework done in an efficient amount of time, how to get projects done. Hello? Yawn. Even I wouldn't want to hear myself talk about back to school hacks, so why not do a fun story time video? This is the time where I had to cram the last few pages of my paper the very morning it was due, and the side effects of that. So this happened the spring semester of my first year of my new school that I transferred to. And I took this class, I believe it was called PDS 6. It's a class where we had to learn about heart-centered leadership. And we read a book called Heart-Centered Leadership. It was a pretty good book. It talked about different leadership styles, how to be a great manager, how to be a great leader. And it really tied in with the work experience I had to do that, I think that following summer as well, or the one I did before that. And it was super informative. And that class, every week we read a chapter, we'd have to write a paper on it. And at the end of the semester, the papers would all pile up together into one giant paper of all the knowledge you have obtained out of the book, and you explaining about how it ties to different concepts in the book, how it applies to your life, and what you have experienced in the workforce. And I think during that time, I only had one work experience. It was when I was working at Wendy's, and I believe it was my second, almost third year working at Wendy's. So I had some experience under my belt, but I really have barely been exposed to the hospitality industry. I have not worked at a hotel, while many of my friends and classmates have worked in hotels, I worked in bars. I started off in the less glamorous area of hospitality. I worked in fast food and it was cutthroat. So towards the end of the semester, I had that paper to finish writing. I was missing, I believe, maybe a few paragraphs, maybe a page. And the night before, I had several other assignments to get done. So I was already exhausted by the time it hit 11 o'clock midnight. I was in bed doing my homework as always because I didn't have a very comfortable desk chair and there was always a lot of stuff going on my desk, so I could never sit down and do my homework at my designated area in my room. I ended up doing it in bed, which ended up causing me wanting to sleep, take naps, be lazy, and do anything but my task at hand. And so I decided to take a break for the evening, go to sleep, let my brain rest because I knew that would be much more important. Sorry, I just started moving around a cable by accident. It was on this table, my hand just knocked it up. So if you hear that, my apologies. And back to the story. And so I went to bed and I decided I'm going to wake up super early the following morning, and that's what I did. I don't even know if I woke up at 5 in the morning or maybe it was 6. I'm not sure, but I knew it was Monday morning because all of our PDS classes in hospitality was always Monday morning, mostly Monday morning, and it was typically before we had lab or after we had lab, so it was one or the other. And lab for us was a class where we'd go in and as a department, we talk about updates that we have going on with events within the department. We'd have guest speakers come in from the industry and talk about their experience and how they got their job, how they got to where they are, and talk about if they're hiring for any positions. So there was that. So that morning I woke up super early. I came down and I knew I wasn't really awake. I was like, oh, I feel super crappy, extra crappy. I have no idea how I'm going to find the words to finish this paper and get it done. And so, of course, I turned towards the least glamorous thing I could ever have, and I tried it for the first time. It was an energy drink. So I don't ever drink anything that has to do with energy drinks. I don't do Monster. I've never tried any of those things. And I happen to have gotten this energy drink from a order that I had when I ordered books. I don't know if you guys know the book company Chegg. This is not a sponsored video. I'm just bringing them up because it has to do with my whole story. I love their services. For those of you guys who are in college, definitely check out Amazon and Chegg. Those are my two biggest book hacks. You can rent books for super cheap, dirt cheap, and they don't cost you a whole lot. I used to order books from Chegg a lot, and sometimes when you order books from Chegg, they send over some free products for you to try as well. It could be free detergent, some candy. In this case, it was a can of Starbucks brand energy drink. I forget if it was called like Starbucks Spritzer or something of that sort. And I am not much of a fizzy drink person. I don't really like soda, so anything that's carbonated, I don't like the feeling of it coming out of your nose and your eyes starting to water. For me, it's like not an experience that I enjoy, and I've never liked carbonated drinks since I was a young kid, so I grew up keeping that same preference as well. So when I turned towards the energy drink, it was because I needed something to wake me up, and that was like the only thing to see on the table. So I said, okay, I have this can here, let's try it and see how bad it tastes. You know, it can't be that bad. So I opened the can, took a few sips out of it, and after a minute or so, I was disgusted. I was like, this is not tasty at all. First of all, it's carbonated, and second of all, it tastes really gross. I immediately, after a few minutes of contemplating whether I should have more sips to get myself wide awake, I just walked myself over to the sink and I emptied the entire can of the drink into the sink, down the drain, and recycled the can and hopped my own little butt back to the couch and finished my paper up. And I was just like, this isn't the way to get things done, but hey, if I've got a cram, I've got a cram. And guess what, guys? I made it through college. So I guess it was well worth it, but not really. Unless you guys like energy drinks, I wouldn't recommend doing it early in the morning. It is just not the way to go. I was basically running off of adrenaline for a little bit. Yeah, no, not at all. And that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed my fun story time, and I hope it really kind of inspired you all for back to school. But I do hope you guys have a wonderful back to school year, whether you guys are in college, elementary, middle, or high school. And I hope you guys work hard, get good grades. And of course, as always, subscribe to my channel if you're a new viewer, or if you haven't already. Turn on the bell for post notifications so you guys know when I upload. I am typically going to try to upload now every Friday or Saturday, either one of those days. But it's always good to turn them on so you know which days I'm uploading. I love you guys so much. Mwah. And I will see you all in my next video. Stay cool, Nintendo nerds.